Not saying nothing.
Okay, it's
I'm not
recording.
talking now that we're recording.
So yeah, I started recording now. We're good.
You have notes on the other stuff, right?
Yeah, I do. I always write everything down.
So
Just
then
in
when I was
case.
in graduate school in New York, I did tenant organizing. I always worked with veterans because even though it was against the Vietnam War, I thought we treated our veterans terribly. Still do.
Yeah, I agree.
And through housing, this is the next question you guys had was what brought me to St. Peter's. And during one of my stints of dropping out of graduate school and doing tenant organizing, I gave a talk, and a bunch of people that had started the public policy program at St. Peter's who were community activists there was a Father Yanatelli who was president of the college, who was very much an activist, had allowed them to start a public policy program. And they wanted one other person to, so they, I wasn't looking for a teaching job. And they said, how about you do this? So that's how I got to St. Peter's after I got my Ph.D.
Oh, wow. That's so nice.
Yeah, because I had no idea. I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. I'm pretty sure I still want to play professional baseball, but I was never very good at it. So maybe I'll be a librarian.
Yeah. I spoke to a person once who told me that society puts blinders on you and they tell you that you have to be this specific thing, but in reality you can be anything.
And nothing's permanent either.
That's true. Yeah, the person that I spoke to, he's a firefighter and he's an art teacher and a freelance artist.
I love combinations like that.
I know, it's so nice. It's really, really nice.
And that's one of the cool things about St. Peter's students and faculty. Our former controller also toured with Ricky Martin as a bassist.
Wow.
And you have so many
Ricky
people
Martin.
at the university.
We do. We have a very diverse and a very nice community as well. You meet a lot of nice people here.
I think so. However, one of the issues you have, what issues have you been involved in? We have a tremendous disparity between our faculty and administrators, who they are, who we are, and who the students are.
Yeah.
81% non-white students. And now it's up to 20% non-white faculty, which is, I think the current provost should get some credit, but that's still a terrible ratio. And in terms of administrators, they're all white. And that's just a terrible, terrible statement. And our curriculum is still very much, it's getting a little better, but it's still very exclusive. I'm also head of faculty development at the college. So I've been trying to get a more inclusionary curriculum.
Yeah, I know. I recently filled out a survey that the school sent about,
it went
diversity
on and on.
Yeah.
Sociology, I would show you make a survey.
Yeah, it took really long, but I took it. I was like, this is important.
It's very
yeah. So a lot of people don't like taking surveys, but I worked for the census last semester, and just getting people to do stuff and like fill out simple questions like is so difficult. I'm like, it takes you like 5 minutes. Yeah. This survey was a bit long, but it's helpful. It's information that's very helpful.
How they use the information, it could be very helpful.
Yeah, so I definitely, as soon as they sent the email, I completed the survey, but it was a long survey. So I'm sorry. So then how long have you been at St. Peter's University?
Forever, 82 or 84. One of those.
Wow.
And I could have gone elsewhere, but I love our students so much. I mean, I really do. I mean, I love the diversity. The reason I love teaching so much is I learn so much in every class from who our students are. And I think that in anthropology, sociology, that's easier to do than other fields because you get dialogues going. I even learned to pronounce mayor as Mayhor the other day in class.
That's so nice. Yeah. I think Yeah, just connecting with people is really nice. I'm
And
a catechist teacher. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm
no,
a
go ahead.
catechist teacher, and I understand what you're saying. I honestly just do it for the kids.
Yeah,
I
and
thought
it's
I would have stopped doing it.
do you keep a straight face when you do it, or do you crack up sometimes?
Oh no, I joke around with the kids all the time. I love making a connection with them because I teach elementary school kids
Mhm.
and they're exposed to a lot of evil in the world.
Sure.
Children are exposed to a lot of things. So I always try to be as honest and as myself, as honestly myself as I possibly can be with them.
You might be
Um,
their safe space also.
I'm sorry.
You might be their safe space.
Yeah, it's a big responsibility. A lot of kids are looking for that. They're looking for a safe space. They're looking for someone to rely to. Um, and sometimes some kids are going through the most toughest stuff, the most unimaginable things. And, when they rely on you, it means a lot, but it's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of work. But I personally really like doing it as well. I love connecting with the children and teaching them, getting to know them.
So do you think teaching might be something you would do down the line?
Probably. I've thought of it. I've definitely thought of it. I think I would like to do it, but when I'm much older, I would like to test the waters
Mhm.
right now, as soon as I graduate from
That's important.
college.
I'm so glad I did other things before I went into it.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, yeah. Similarly to you, I would love to test the waters, learn different things, go to different places.
Learn to scuba dive rather than snorkel.
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like a teaching position, you really have to settle down and really, you know, dedicate yourself to that.
Well, it depends. That's what's so much fun about anthropology. You have to keep moving around.
Oh, well, true. In the case of anthropology, it's like that. So, what brings you, besides the students, what keeps bringing you back to St. Peter's
Well,
University?
this will be odd, maybe coming from a Jew from Missouri, but the Jesuit mission. I think, despite my complaints about the lopsided curriculum and the lopsided administration, I think St. Peter's is extremely dedicated to a mission of serving people in order to enable them to serve others. And it's not rhetoric.
Mhm.
It's really not rhetoric at St. Peter's. It is at other Jesuit colleges when I go to conferences, but St. Peter's is really doing what we should be, what all educational facilities should be doing. The fact that we're first generation, the fact that we are really, as you said earlier, a very caring community is extremely important. And, you know, acceptance. I mean, the fact that we have a Muslim prayer room, the fact that
Mhm.
we're the first Jesuit institution to have an undocumented student center, the fact that we have a safe space for Pride students, uh,
Mhm.
really says so much about the university. The fact that
Yeah.
I'm allowed to teach a course in evolution, which is not what you'd normally associate with Catholics. Yeah,
Yeah. No, that's true. That's very true. Yeah. That honestly, and I've taken so many nice classes in this school. I actually have a friend right now who's applying to St. Peter's, and the reason she's applying is because I always tell her all of the different classes that I'm taking,
mhm.
and she's like, "They're so interesting. They sound so interesting." And I'm like, "Apply for the school. You
And
might be able to take them."
the right size too. I mean,
Yeah.
both
Mm-hmm.
my sons went to huge state universities, primarily because I told them to go to small schools. And so they went to big
Mm-hmm.
schools and had 300 people in their class.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can't do that. I have a friend as well who goes to this, I forgot the name of the university, but it's like a big, like a stadium, kind of like a theater room. There's
Yeah.
like 50 students in that class and then one professor. And I'm like, no, I have to connect with other people
Yeah.
and the
I mean,
professor. And
when we had live campus, you could walk across the quad and everybody knows everybody. And that's so nice.
oh, that's nice. Yeah. So I know you mentioned it a bit, but what impact has being a part of the Jesuit education had on your life?
I think it fits very nicely with my social values. Um, that allows really a forum to be rooted in community, and rooted in a community in such that it's not just passing through, but it's really a commitment for lifelong service and lifelong learning. And I think that is
Mhm.
so, it's not a cliche at St. Peter's. Have you interviewed other people for this?
No, I haven't. You are the first person.
When you do, they're all going to say cura personalis, caring for the individual. And it's not a cliche at St. Peter's. It is truly real that so
Yeah.
many of our faculty, so many of our administrators, but more important, the students themselves really care about each other.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like, I mean, I personally don't have many friends on in the within the school because I'm a commuter and I
Yeah, that's hard.
usually just go to class. It's
Yeah,
difficult,
it
but
is.
the few friends that I have made are very nice people, are very, caring people. I've never had a problem with anybody on campus, within the school, with, staff. Everybody is just really, really sweet.
Are you in any organizations or do you work for the newspaper?
I write for the newspaper, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good community. I was their moderator for 8 years, a long time
Oh
ago.
wow,
But,
nice.
and I've
How come
loved
you how come you stopped doing it?
because I had other things to do. I had to stop other wars and
Mm.
stuff. Um, but um, but the fact that they changed their name is another positive of St. Peter's.
Oh my God, they worked so hard on that. Yeah.
I started writing letters in 2010 about that. And it
Wow.
wasn't until the students took over that they
That they
got
really took it seriously.
yeah, it's so great. I mean, that was such a horrible man.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I mean, a lot of universities wouldn't do that.
That's true. That is very true. I mean, it was very difficult for the because I just became a part of the editorial team,
Oh,
but
good.
yeah, but I was just a writer, so I would occasionally write for the paper, but the people who are currently in the editorial team, they've worked really hard for it. And the professors as well, the ones who are involved, Professor Kroll and DeMillo. And
She's my neighbor. She lives about 3 blocks from me.
really, who?
Crowell.
Oh, I love her. She's the best. That's so nice. Yeah, she recently moved to New Jersey. She used to
Yeah,
live in New York.
we
But
all
yeah.
we all used to live in New York. You don't know this, but there's a subway line that goes from New York to Montclair, New Jersey.
Oh, really?
Not,
I
not
thought
really,
it just
not really, but so many people have moved from New York to Montclair,
No, that's true. I mean, Montclair is a nice area.
I guess.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's
nice
nice to
area.
raise our kids, but
Yeah, because where I live, it's not so nice. Too
but it,
crowded.
but it's diverse.
Yes, that is the beauty of where I live. Yes, it's very diverse. Meet a lot of people. You can eat any types of food, whatever you're craving. But
And
it's very crowded.
and you can learn that Spanish is not one language.
Oh yeah, no, no, it's not. I'm actually working on a podcast about that with a friend.
My
Yeah.
my older son, who's lived in Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Chile, thought he knew
Wow.
Spanish, and then he went to Cuba, and he didn't understand. He said, "He called up. I don't understand a word they're saying. They don't finish their words. They're talking so fast."
Yeah. Every country has their own slang. They speak it differently.
Yeah.
Um,
On one of my travel trips, we had a big debate with the students, most were Spanish speaking, just about what words are right. The people from Mexico were saying one thing, and somebody from Ecuador was saying, "No, that's totally wrong."
yeah, we do have a lot of heated discussions about that. Yeah. The podcast that I'm working in with my friend, she's Colombian, and we also disagree in certain things. I'm like, this is what you call this? No, this is what it's called. But yeah, it's the beauty of language as well.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, even English in the United States is so
Mm,
different around
yeah,
the country.
yeah, different parts of the country. True. So my next question is, what larger societal issues have occurred during your time at St. Peter's, and what impact did they have on the SPU community?
Okay, I mean, I think immigration is one of the biggest ones now.
Mhm.
and Black Lives Matter. However, what's really important here is when we see the attacks on immigrants, Black Lives Matter, currently Asians, these are not new things. It's
Oh
just
yeah,
that
no.
people in power pretend they're new. So I
Mhm.
think what's happening now, which is the impact, are people that are learning that they're incidents. These are not incidents, but they're 300 years in the making. So
Mhm.
that's a very big one. Of course, climate change is another one.
Oh, yeah.
For me, places like Hudson County, Jersey City, the increasing gap between the wealthy and the non-wealthy is just huge. And I'm still engaged in a lot of housing work, and
Wow.
it's so obvious. I've been very involved in the anti-gun violence for maybe
Mm.
10 years. So that's another big one. The World Trade Towers, making us realize that we're part of the world, that we don't have that ocean that protects us.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it then became another springboard to hate another group of people, identifying Muslims as the enemy.
Yeah.
It's always who gets the hyphen is the one
Mhm.
that's in trouble.
Yeah. It's really sad how we follow these stereotypes, these labels.
But what's good about St. Peter's with all these things, starting with the World Trade, not starting with the World Trade Tower, and now the anti-Asian, the the anti-immigrant stuff, it seems to be a very safe place, a safe haven.
Yeah, I personally, yeah, based on my experience, I think it is.
I
Yeah,
mean, there are
I agree.
some students that are uncomfortable with what some faculty say, but for the most part, it's pretty safe. So those are some of the bigger issues. I think the biggest one, though, is our failure to really diversify the curriculum. Um, it's a big world out there. It's not just Western Europe, and we're moving slowly like that. Do you have a
Mhm.
pet turtle in your house?
No.
You're not really Mexican then.
Yeah, my parents don't let me have any pets.
Okay, we're moving at turtle pace.
At turtle pace, yeah.
Yeah,
We like to say in Mexico, we have a saying that's lento pero seguro, slowly but surely,
yeah.
which basically that's what it means.
And the key thing
Um,
about turtles, they can't walk backwards. So and
that's true.
and they make good soup.
Oh, never tried them. I don't think I'm planning on trying them. I think the craziest thing I've tried is crickets. That's about it.
With chocolate. What about honeybees?
I haven't tried those. No, I only tried crickets.
Snake?
No.
You ever eat at the White Castle?
Nope.
So you haven't had dog then.
No, no, no. No, I've never eaten there. No. I don't know, I feel bad. uh, I don't know. Animals have a soft spot in my heart.
But you're not a vegetarian.
No, I would like to be vegetarian, but I have a lot of iron deficiency and it's not overall it's not good for my health. I consulted it with my doctor and my doctor was like, "Yeah, no. I get sick very easily as well. My immune system is really bad."
Okay,
So my
good,
doc
good, good.
So my doctor's always like, "Just eat everything that you need to eat. It's the most nutritious thing you could do, the most healthiest thing you could do." So I can't do it, but I would like to.
The other issue at St. Peter's that is really that we've made a lot of progress on. I hate standardized tests, and
Oh.
I've been very involved in pushing the campus to become SAT free, which we
Mm.
are now. Um, on the statewide level, I'm again. Did you take those stupid tests to get out of high school? Those, what was the exit exam called?
No, I just took the SAT and the
Yeah, they don't tell us anything, and it's the least predictor of college success, and it's the biggest
yeah.
predictor of wealth of the family. Um,
Mhm.
so that's an issue I fight both locally in the schools here and at the college. They let us run a pilot program with people with under 850 SATs, and they had the second highest graduation rate because we based it on
Wow.
recommendations and
Hmm.
on their essays.
Yeah. And honestly, some people are just not good test takers.
Yeah, I'm not. One of my sons is. One of my sons isn't.
Yeah. But some people are just not, you get anxiety, you get nervous, you don't remember, but you're better at other things. You're better at,
Or
interacting.
they're boring.
Oh, that too. Yeah, yeah, you fall asleep. Yeah, I remember the SATs were a pain.
My younger son, who I think you see there, do you see where my arrow is in the picture?
um, yeah, yeah.
Wapple. Um, he's the one in our family that does really well on standardized tests. And
Oh,
what do you
wow.
like most about them? I like when I finish watching the other people. I said, don't you go back and check it? He said, no, that's cheating. Whereas another son who has a PhD did terrible on those tests.
Yeah. But he has a PhD.
I mean, it
It's
doesn't tell us anything. So that
yeah,
was one of the things I'm proudest about in the terms of changing the curriculum at St. Peter's.
that's nice. How long, because I know when I applied for the school and my SAT scores were not necessary. Like if I didn't want to submit them, I didn't have to. How
Um,
long ago has the
Maybe
school?
6 or 7 years ago.
Oh, wow, so it's really recent then.
Yeah, more and more colleges are getting away from it now.
Hmm. I
Oh,
feel like it's the best decision.
you didn't have to take the park exam to get out of high school?
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah. See,
That
that's
park
another
exam
one.
was a pain.
Yeah. And at what point 27 states used it? Now it's down to six, but New Jersey is one of the six.
Yeah. And that test was really annoying. I remember nobody took it seriously in high school and they
Well,
had
we
to make a
didn't. We're
whole
clearly
announcement.
organized, and we had parents try to take it following the directions, and most parents couldn't take it as it was even just to get through the directions. It's impossible.
Mm, it's a very, and then when I took it, it was online, so it was on computers.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you would put the correct answer, but it would come off as wrong, or it wouldn't let you, like for the simplest stuff, for not putting a period or a dash or something. It's just so complicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm glad that many more schools are avoiding and moving away from that.
Yeah.
Just
So,
makes it easier on us students.
so your last question is why is St. Peter's important? Because it really is a first generation opportunity, and that's really important. It provides people with a educational environment where people really care about them and allows them, for the most part, we don't judge people who they are when they come in, but where they could be when they finish. And that's really important. And, the people at St. Peter's, the students have changed over the years, but it used to be first generation Irish and Italian. Now it's first
Mhm.
generation Central South American, Middle Eastern, whatever. But it's still that hunger to learn and the opportunity that they would not get at other private or public universities. Public
That's true.
universities, they might get lost, and private universities have so-called immediate standards.
Hmm. I also think that one of the really nice things about St. Peter's is just the financial help.
Yeah,
There's a lot of financial help in St. Peter's.
yeah,
Um,
that's important. Even though we're a private school, our students
mhm.
pay less than Rutgers.
Yeah, it's very that's one of the biggest reasons for why I decided to attend St. Peter's, to apply and attend St. Peter's, because the financial help. Many of us don't have the money to pay
Yeah.
a college education, so that's really helpful. So I'm sorry, just to go back to the previous questions about the societal issues, how has it had an impact on you? Because I
Well,
know you spoke about it in terms of the
it,
St. Peter's community.
okay, it's also just altered my teaching. Like, for example, this term I'm teaching a course on ethnicity and race in the history of US, but
Mhm.
how could I do that without discussing Black Lives Matter, without all the attacks
Mhm.
on Asians now, without immigration policies. So it really directs me on what I should be learning from my students and hopefully guiding them to learn more about in a more practical way. So it's all these issues. I don't think you could separate the classroom from what's going on in the world. So all these issues immediately become part of my curriculum, which is really important.
That's nice. Yeah. Very. It's nice to see that we are a part of a very nice community. And I mean, you've seen it more. You've been here for so many years.
Oh, you're calling me old now?
No, I'm calling you experienced.
Well, we have our granddaughter, my son and his child living here. And she's 17 months, are about the same age mentally. So we're the two that are always getting in trouble. Like our favorite word is don't, because that means we're going to do it as soon as they get out of the room.
That's
Another
so
thing I
cute.
really love about St. Peter's, until this year, every year we would have 40 or 50 students over for Thanksgiving. I'm moderator of the
Mm.
Pride. So my wife and I would have 2 overnight Pride retreats at our house. We do a lot of
Wow,
things. I don't really separate the university from my home.
that's beautiful.
No, it's
I
fun.
think that's really
It's selfish because it's so much fun.
I think the all good deeds to a certain extent are selfish. They make you feel good.
Totally it.
That's true, no. But no, that's really beautiful though. That's because like you mentioned earlier, a lot of students are just looking for a safe space. A lot of people are just looking for a safe space.
Yeah. And maybe that goes back to my own background, not having one myself for so long.
Yeah.
It's really important. We've had several students live with us during college or after graduation that had no place to go. And that's really,
Wow.
that's sort of autobiographical, but it's also just really important. And my wife, whose parents lived forever, is just as open to that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what you and your family are doing is
But
very admirable.
can you believe that shit? Her parents lived into their 90s. I mean, what? And she gets parking places every time she wants.
No, but yeah, I think you and your family are very admirable. You are doing
But we do
such
it
an amazing job.
because we want to.
Sure. But out of the kindness of your heart as well, like you mentioned earlier, out of your previous experiences,
Yeah.
because I feel like there's a lot of people who, I mean, I even include myself in that group. We are privileged to a certain extent because I am very privileged as well. And sometimes we forget, that
Yeah.
we have to help others.
But
It's,
you're also blessed to have 2 cultures in your head.
oh, yeah, I
Cultures and
am. I'm very grateful for that.
2 languages. I mean, that is so cool.
Yes, yeah, I'm very grateful for that. I think I one of the issues that are recently arising, I think one of the beauty, I think one of the positive sides of having these conversations about racism and everything that's going on in the world right now is that we are becoming much more appreciative of our own culture because as someone who grew up, you know, as Mexican/American, you grow up with a lot of inward racism and you don't realize it. This is just coming from my personal experience, but you don't realize it. And now that I'm much older, I realize I come from a beautiful culture, beautiful people, a beautiful
It's so,
country.
so beautiful. Um, you have siblings?
Yes, I do. I have a younger brother.
I knew you were the oldest. I mean, and you think he's spoiled. Why do you think he's spoiled?
Because he's the baby of the household and he's a guy.
My wife is the baby of her family. And when her mom was
Oh, really?
96, her mom said to her, I'd like to die now, but you're too much of a baby, so you couldn't handle it. And finally she said, okay, Ma, like months later, if you have to die, you have to die. And her mom said, okay, and died 2 weeks later. But it's like, babies are so special.
Yeah. Well, I baby him too. I feel like it's just the babies. We're
Does he,
always gonna.
does he go to same high school?
No, we moved right next door, the city right next door. We moved to West New York. So we currently live in West New York.
Uh-huh.
So he goes to Memorial High School.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, he's the baby of the household. Did you have any siblings?
I had an older sister
Oh.
who passed away a few years ago.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. But were you close to her, or did you have a relationship with her?
She was the one in Missouri that taught me the privilege of whiteness. Because when we were getting beat up in the
Mm.
school bus, she said, "I'm Methodist. My brother's Jewish," and
Oh.
that kind of set our
Yeah.
relationship. Um, and that's what I
Yeah.
meant before. I mean, we had some rough times because we were Jewish, but it's nothing compared to what people. I can't say, "Oh yeah, I know what you went through," because I have no clue. Because I always had an exit door if I wanted it.
Yeah. I
Don't want-
think I think yeah, I think we all have different experiences. I mean, me as well, I've never been through something that a Black American goes through, an Asian American.
But you will get judged in ways that I will never get judged. That my granddaughter
Oh,
will never get judged.
that's true. That is very true. And it's sad, but we're fighting against it. I'm glad that there is people like you and your family who
Well,
see things differently, who, you know, don't follow into those stereotypes and don't fall into that negativity.
yeah. And my other thing is I can't fit into any. I do identify Jewish, but I can't. I get thrown out of, not thrown, but kind of pushed out of every synagogue I've been in because of my views on Israel.
Oh, hmm. Controversial, I'm assuming. And
No,
yeah.
I don't think it's controversial. I think they just have it wrong.
Yeah, I honestly I need to learn more about the Jewish religion. I know very little.
But you
Um
guys so good at St. Peter's is the Muslim student organization. Is
mhm,
they're teaching me so much. We have a lot of Palestinians and that have been really messed up by Israel, their families' land
mhm.
taken away. I mean,
Wow, that's
Judaism
nice.
does have a nice social justice piece, but it would be nice if we practice it in the Middle East.
Mhm. Like you mentioned earlier, it's so nice that we have so many people with so many stories that we
Yeah,
can learn from, because honestly, you can't really find that anywhere else. I feel
not
like it's
not
just
to. I mean, we are such a diverse campus. And
yeah.
have you been to any of the other Jesuit schools?
No, I haven't. I've just been to
They're
this
not
one,
like
which
St. Peter's
is
at all. Not the students.
yeah, but it's nice. It's like you said. And we take it for granted, honestly. A lot of us take it for granted too.
Yeah, I think it's just a gift, and I hope it survives the pandemic financially.
Oh, same here. I feel like it will.
I
I
hope so.
feel like I have hopes that I have faith that it will. It's
Good.
a it's a it's a big connected community, like you said earlier. And I feel like we will all try to help each other out and try to keep, the school afloat,
Hmm.
keep it going. But yeah, thank you so much. I
Okay.
won't take much more of your time.
Okay. So you want to switch to be an anthropology major now or a minor?
I'm not sure
We
if I
could
had more time.
18 credits and we could double dip for the minor. Have you taken your pluralism course or your writing intensive writing course or your values?
Yes. Yes, I
Because we
have.
culture
Yes.
anthropology covers all three.
Yeah, I have. My writing intensive was a journalism class. It was news writing.
And what do you do for pluralism?
Pluralism. Oh, I forgot. I think I took another English class.
Yeah, every course
Multicultural. It was like multicultural something. I
with
forgot.
yeah. I think that's the progress on the school that they're offered in so many departments.
Yeah. I think that's the beauty of it. That's like I mentioned earlier, my friend who's applying to the school. That's the reason she's applying, because the school has so many nice classes, and
Yeah.
she can take a variety of different classes and topics that she's interested in while still studying for her major, and studying taking the classes for her major.
Cool.
But yeah,
Okay. So if I could be any other help, let me know.
thank you so much. No, thank you so much for your time. It was such a pleasure
Nice meeting
speaking
you.
to you,
Okay. Take care.
and the
Bye-bye.
same to you. Bye bye. Take care.